Hey, my name is Brianna Piggies, and I am the secretary for the University of Memphis chapter of NSB for the 2020-2021 school year. Since the semester is winding down, that means exams are coming up soon, and I wanted to prepare this video for you so you can have some tips to hopefully prepare yourself and do great on your finals. Before I go over the tips, I wanted to show you the calendar for the school year, such as when the last player dash classes will be, which will be November 17th or Tuesday. And then exams will follow immediately afterwards on November 18th and running through the 24th. So now that you know when your finals should be held, we can figure out how to find out what time your final will be held. Occasionally, teachers will hold your finals on the last day of class, but if not, then you can go to the final exam calendar located on the school's website. As you can see on the right side of my screen over here, my first class, my Tech 1211 class, I have my finals times, date and times highlighted. And I figured that out by going to when the class is usually held, which is this class is held on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:30. So that means that my final will be held on a Wednesday, November 18th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Now, all classes are not held at the usual class time, so your final could be different than the class time that is usually scheduled. So, for example, my Tech 2821 class is held on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:20. So that means that my exam will be from on November 19th and held from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., despite the class usually starting at 11:20 a.m. And same for my Tech 2822 class, which is held on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It is going to be held on November 23rd from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., even though it starts usually at 10:20 a.m. So now that you find out where your what time your finals will be held, some tips to prepare are first ask your teacher what material is going to be on the exam, such as what concept you should look over and how the exam will be set up. So for my Tech 1211 class, my teacher told me that it will be all the information that we learned over the entire semester and that it will be multiple choice. I don't know how many questions will be on the test, but that still gives me a good idea on what I should study and look over. Or as you can see on my Tech 2822 class, it will also go over the whole semester, but it will include multiple choice questions, fill in the blank questions, and problems that I will have to solve. So now that I know how my tests are set up, that brings me to my next tip, which would be don't procrastinate and make a solid study plan and that you can actually stick to. This will help you avoid stress and hopefully you can feel well prepared and confident when you're taking your exam. My third tip would be to when you are have to study for a class that's harder, dedicate more time to studying for that class. I'm not saying don't study for your class because, for example, my Tech 1211 class, I feel pretty confident about and that I won't have to go over that many extra concepts to pass my finals. And even though that's the case, I will still study for some. Whereas my Tech 2821 class, I will probably dedicate much more time to this class because I feel that the concepts could be more confusing than my Tech 1211 class. My fourth tip would be to choose a good study area, like your home or a library, wherever you prefer. I prefer the library, but Due to the circumstances, I've been studying at home and I'll just put some headphones in and that really give me a solid way to focus. I listen to lo-fi beats that don't really have lyrics, so I'm not distracted. My fifth tip would be to go over your notes, your practice problems, review whatever you need to that will help you on your exam. My sixth tip would be to use a study group if that's helpful to you. If it's helpful for you to study in groups, I definitely recommend using one. However, if you're going to use a study group, I would recommend avoiding stressful group members that's not going to really help you on your final and will only probably stress you out or disrupt you and your focus. But study groups can be really useful for comparing notes, helping with concepts, or just keep your mind off of exams. Probably give yourself a break now and then, which leads to my recommendation on how to carry out a study group. If you reviewed our previous video posted by our president, Michael Boyd, he showed you how to create GroupMe for your classes. So if you can create a study group with your class using GroupMe, and y'all can talk through Zoom or in person, but socially distanced, of course. And then y'all can prepare for y'all final together, and then everyone can make sure they're all understanding of the material, and then y'all can be sure that all concepts are understood. Make sure to take breaks while you're studying and don't overwork yourself because that will lead to stress as well and won't be good or helpful to you. And my final tip would just be to, once you get all your studying out the way before your exam, make sure to relax and get enough sleep the night before because sleep actually is very important for your test. You don't need to be cranky when you're taking your test. You need to go in confident that you prepared as well as you can and ready to take on your exam. If you're good to take breakfast in the morning, I recommend eating breakfast. I know sometimes folks get sick from eating breakfast early in the morning, but if you can, sleep well the night before and eat breakfast the day of before your exam. So your focus and your brain, has some fuel to get you going and make you help you remember these answers that you've been studying so hard for. A link will be posted for both the final exam calendar and the academic calendar in the description. So you can go ahead and figure out when your final will be held. And that's all the tips I have for you guys. Good luck on your finals.